Hi there. So, Carrie here. It's been a little while, but I know that we're always trying to deal with negative thoughts. Sometimes we don't even know that's the animal that we're having trouble with, but trust me, it is. In the 4-week program that some of you guys have done, one of the things I ask you to do in the very first week is a mental exercise in identifying negative thoughts, because you can't get rid of something if you can't see it. I mean, you can't patch a hole in the wall if you can't see that there's a hole in the wall. So I reached out to one of my master trainers. He is several years in a row was the #1 NLP trainer in the world. And he's only ever dropped down to the second place. Second only to the person who invented the idea of neuro-linguistic programming back in the 70s, so we can't fault him for that. But he trains attorneys, the big paying attorneys in LA. This is Dr. David Snyder, who's out of San Diego, one of my favorite teachers. He doesn't mess around, he gets right to the point. So I called him, asked him, last time we chatted, about how can I help students to overcome negative thoughts. So I'm literally going to read you what he said. I think it's amazing. Ask your students, do you ever get stuck in a negative thought loop? The same anxious or critical thoughts playing on repeat. Today, I'm going to share with you how to break that pattern instantly. It's called a pattern interrupt, and it works because of how the brain processes experience. Your brain runs through thoughts as patterns, sequences of neural firing. A negative thought loop is just a pattern that becomes habitual. To break a pattern, you need to interrupt it before it completes, not afterwards. Before it completes. Here's a simple technique. The moment that you notice a negative thought pattern starting, do something unexpected and physical. Clap your hands loudly. Shout, stop, out loud, or as loud as you can in your mind. Snap a rubber band on your wrist. Jump up and down, make a ridiculous face. It's got to be something that interrupts what you normally would do when you have a negative pattern. This is Carrie speaking. And it's got to be something physical, because the anchor within you that keeps looping is physical. We think it's mental. Mental's where it starts. Physical is where it interrupts what we're trying to do. The more back to David, the more unusual and physical, the better. You're literally short-circuiting the neural pattern. Then immediately direct your attention to something else. Ask yourself a new question, something totally off the subject. What am I grateful for now? Gratitude is a huge, huge, powerful element. Or what's good about this situation? You know, no matter how bad the situation is that you're in, if you can ask yourself what's good about this situation, it will at least cause a new neural pathway to form. The interrupt creates a gap. The new question fills the gap with a different pattern, and this takes practice. The first few times you might catch the thought mid-loop rather than at the start, but that's fine. Keep practicing. Eventually, you'll catch the negative patterns before they even fully form, and you'll redirect them automatically. What negative thought pattern will you interrupt this week? David. Woo! You guys, that's powerful. And it does drive me crazy when I know I share something with you guys that sounds so ridiculously simple that a couple of thought patterns go through our mind, like, well, first of all, if it's that simple, how powerful could it be? Or you know it's powerful and you know it's going to make a change, and there's a part of you that's so afraid of the change that you won't even go back to trying the simplest of techniques. So I'm going to challenge you for the next week, from whenever you're viewing this for the first time, for 1 week, I want you to try identifying when you're seeing negative patterns crop up, and doing exactly that, a pattern interrupt that's loud, unexpected, and physical. Let's see what kind of results we get. I love you guys.